edition of the Bullheaded Podcast. I'm your host, per usual, Sean Tyson, here with Zoo and Peebush. How you guys doing?
Been a hell of a NBA playoffs, man. I'm excited. Sad to see Ja go down. We were just talking about it. But
Yeah.
exciting series still going on. So a lot of 2-2s.
Dude, that Grizzly game last night, man. Dude, they had it, man.
They did.
They had it. Like
but you
the
know what
splash,
they didn't have?
dude. Oh my
a closer.
Lord. Dude, yeah, they had Jaren Jackson jacking up threes, man. That ending was ugly, man. Like Tyus Jones and Jaren Jackson as your closers. Man, they had it, man. They
Not against the
had
Warriors.
it, man. Oh my God, they almost pulled a miracle.
They almost
Lose
did.
your best player and beat a pretty much fully healthy Warriors team, and they were just playing like straight
And
garbage.
on the
man.
road.
They had it exactly at San Francisco, man. They had the chance, man, but it was too good to be true, man. I was watching that. I was just like, oh, man, I just feel like they're going to blow it, man.
Yeah.
Because you got Dylan Bricks out there, man. Holy crap.
Man.
God,
He really owes his team.
Single-handedly.
He owns his team. Like,
Pretty
you
much
know,
single-handedly.
the series is not over, but man, if they end up losing the series, like from the time he knocked out Gary Payton, I guess he's a junior, till now, Dylan Brooks has pretty much sabotaged the series for them. And, you know, people want to say he's playing hard, whatever. We can get into that later, but I don't know anybody who needs a bigger game 5 than Dylan Brooks with Ja for them to survive. So we're going to be transitioning to the playoffs. This is probably going to be a mainly NBA heavy pod, but like people just kind of, you know, stated, it's a lot of these series were looking like sweeps, and now they're evened out, which is really cool because I don't think last round there was any games that were potentially going to get to Game 7. So I'm kind of interested to hear the guys' thoughts on what they think of the series so far. We can go in any direction, east or west. And Peebush, I'm gonna start with you.
Well, I guess I'll just kind of keep with the Grizzlies series going. I mean, I know it's the 3-1, so we can kind of get it out of the way. But,
Yeah.
you know, I think that Dylan Brooks single-handedly has pretty much thrown the series. I mean, if you look at the fouls he's made, right, he got suspended for one game. Mans is shooting maybe 35% from the field overall throughout the series. He's just jacking up shots, can't hit anything. And, I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr. has played relatively well throughout the series, had some inconsistencies with his fouling and all that. We've jumped into that many times, but I'm just looking at this team and I'm thinking, look, Ja did his job for his team. He got injured, playing a little too recklessly. It was bound to happen. Hope nothing too serious. I think it's just a bone contusion. But look, man, this team is super young. I think they're the youngest team to make it to the second round since like the 80s or something like that. If you look at their age overall, they have a bright future. But this Warriors team, man, they gave them a nice little welcome party to Chase Center now, not Oracle. I'll still call it Oracle, man, just like the Sears Tower, Willis Tower. It's Oracle, man. And they crushed them by 30. And this series had entirely kind of been on however Jordan Poole was playing. That's how the Warriors were playing. And we talked about his impact a couple weeks ago. But Curry finally started kind of taking over in this series, hitting some big shots. Even, you know, last game, I thought his ability to get to the foul line was crucial. I think he went 14 of 14 from the line. So, look, man, this Grizzlies team is down 3-1, the only team that probably has no shot to win their respective series. But I do think their future is bright as long as they start giving Ja some help, man, because that team's consistency has not been there like we saw in the regular season this year, man.
Yeah, man, dude. I don't know. I've been thoroughly impressed with the Grizzlies, though, man, against this Golden State Warriors team. Like, right now, you have the Dylan Brooks fiasco of getting himself suspended with the flagrant 2 foul, man. And you got him chucking up bricks like no other. This guy has been atrocious in the playoffs. Like, this guy in the regular season averaged 18 points a game, so that's pretty solid for, like, a second/third option. But these are some of the games that he had. 3 for 11, 4 for 14, 3 for 18, 3 for 13, 5 for 19. Like, this guy's shooting has been atrocious. The dude is shooting 15% from 3 in this series against the Golden State Warriors, man. He single-handedly dragged his team down last night when they were about to pull a miracle with Tyus Jones, the backup point guard, coming in, man. He showed up, man, hit a bunch of trade balls, man, led the offense without their best player, Ja Morant. But, oh, my Lord, Dylan Bricks, man. Dude, this dude tried to win it all. Like, they were up 1, man. This dude just jacks up a 3 early in the shot clock for no reason. Like, I don't know how many air balls this dude had in that game, man. It was atrocious, man. Like, he has his physical defense, but offensively, he's a massive, massive liability right now. Like, he has no confidence. Every time he touches the ball, he's getting booed. That last game, my God, he was atrocious. Like, he single-handedly bringing the team down. And Desmond Bane, man, out of that back injury, he has been atrocious. He's pretty much been non-existent. He went from being the best player in the first round, dropping 23 points a game, being the most consistent guy, like shooting, like percentage-wise, dropping like 5 threes a game. Like, the dude's was unbelievable against the T-Wolves. But now with this back injury, completely useless. Like you see his body, like his mobility is not there. Like, you see that he's just not running with the same speed when he was in that first round. And oh my Lord, man, no Desmond. Like, pretty much they got half of Desmond Bane right now. No Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks, and you got Tyus Jones, Jaren Jackson playing against this fully loaded Warriors team, and they almost beat them. Like, if they played like 3 more minutes of good basketball, they were up the entire game,
the whole game
until the last minute. Like, they had an opportunity to pull a miracle. They were 9.5 dogs against the Golden State team, and they almost pulled off a miracle upset because you have Klay Thompson over there
going home.
Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. Like,
and you never know if they can beat the Warriors at home fully healthy when the Grizzlies aren't.
And not gonna lie, Klay Thompson has been absolutely atrocious.
Switch him and Poole.
Absolutely atrocious, man. I bet the under right now. I saw 21 points. I bet the under, man. I saw Klay Thompson shoot, man. This guy has been awful at this playoffs. Awful. Yeah. Like, and he's been jacking up he gets up a lot of shots. So there's like no
20 shots.
Like the dude's been jacking like 6 for 20. 6 for 20.
Yeah.
God damn, man. This guy's supposed to be one of the greatest. He went 0 for 7 from 3. Klay Thompson, one of the Splash Brothers, man. I might have to take that nickname out right now because he ain't no Splash Brother, man. It's just Steph Curry. Jordan Poole can take it right now because Klay Thompson is getting his Splash Brother card revoked because this dude's been atrocious too. And his defense ain't been the same. I don't even.
Yeah, his defense. I don't think it's ever
because of his knee injuries, man. It's hard to come back from multiple knee surgeries. But the offense, though. You can't go. You drop a donut from 3, man. You drop a donut from 3, and like Steph Curry, man, he had a hell of a fourth quarter, man. He didn't have the most efficient night, but he was able to drag this team because I don't know that game, man. That was a painful game, man, offensively.
Yeah,
everybody was missing shots. Like, it's so funny watching Draymond Green, one of the smartest basketball players, but my God, that guy sucks at scoring, man. He's such a
He's
bad.
kind of quietly become a non-factor on offensive end the last couple of years.
The dude's over/under is 4.5 for a reason. 4.5 points. Yeah. And I was like, dang, they got him that much. And yeah, he hit the under, man. He had 2 points because the dude doesn't look at the basket. Because the way they guard him, this is what they got to play him for the pass. Because every time he gets an open layup, trying to jack it up to Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, all the shooters, Andrew Wiggins, man. He's actually having a pretty solid series. But Draymond Green's like passivist, like they got to be able to adjust to that because he's not a scoring threat. Like not even a little, man. Not even a little.
They're going to need that for the next round and if they make it to the finals because Draymond's got to become a threat that can score. Yeah. You know what that kind of reminds me of?
Right, man. He's zero.
You know it reminds me too, like you talk about the passing. Like it reminds me kind of how Rondo started playing towards the end of his career in Boston. Like he would get into the lane and penetrate. He was still athletic enough to get there, but he would dish out to different like players.
He is driving to pass. Like he's passed first, pass second, third last, like scoring last. Like, he ain't thinking about scoring because he's
maybe an occasional and one.
Yeah, like he got 1 layup. I remember he got 1 layup that game. Yeah. That's all he had. So I'm just like, man, they got to play him better. And I don't know. Grizzlies, man, they almost pulled a miracle off, man. I was rooting for the Grizzlies, man. I was rooting them hard. I'm like, beating them without your superstar? Like, yeah, they dominated in the regular season without Ja Morant. Winning a playoff series against the Golden State Warriors with everybody healthy except for Gary Payton or whatever. He's a role player, whatever. So their top 3 all healthy. Yeah. My God. Yeah. Grizzlies almost pulled off a miracle, but it's so sad that they couldn't get it done, man. And I'm blaming Dylan Brooks, man. My Lord.
I am too.
God,
he's
a difference maker.
He has a lot of blame to go around. I don't really have too much to add with the Grizzlies and Warriors. If you ask me, do I think the Grizzlies have a chance to win the next game? Yeah, I don't think.
No, I think
but
it's over now, man. Dude, I think Ja Morant the rest of the series. They played he's out. They played their butts off last game. Like they couldn't. They played their butts off and still lost, man. Jesus. So they had 2 50-50 type games that they could have won against this Golden State team. 50-50. And they have less talent, you got to win those games. They have pulled off an upset against this team. And they couldn't get it done, man. They're right there, man. But
They need one more piece, man. They need another consistent player that can score.
They're so close, man. They're so close.
If Ja's having an off night or he's hurt in this case, they need somebody to close the game. And I hate Tyus Jones, ain't it? He had a nice game for coming in. And
Kyle Anderson was low key like balling.
Slow mo, man.
That dude's jump
shot. I don't get it.
Greatest nickname of all time.
Lord. Like his 3-point shot is legitimately it actually is slow mo, man. He's going like 0.5x speed, man. That's pretty much what he looks like, man. But he's somehow productive. I don't know how he's productive. Even like he had this crazy shot.
I guess because he's so tall.
He's got a super.
He was 6'3". If he was 6'3" doing like that, he wouldn't be in the league. I think it's because he's taller. Yeah. He can't be that slow and athletic being 6'3".
Yeah, he blocked the crap out of Klay Thompson. I saw that. I was like, God damn. Oh, my Lord.
Quicker hands on the defensive end than the offensive.
It goes to your point, too, P-Bush, about how if they would have maybe made that trade for CJ, they might win that game yesterday. They might have won.
Exactly.
Because they have somebody who would have been able to make some at least tougher shots. And and I guarantee you in that deal, Dylan Brooks probably would have been in that deal, so he wouldn't have been there to do those bricks. So
totally different series if that had happened.
His basketball IQ, like
very
it's
low
very Russell Westbrookish, man. Little dodo bird, man. Like the dude has like 20 seconds on the shot clock. He just jacks up a three, like with a hand in the face and like early shot clock. I'm just like, oh my God. If I'm a Grizzlies fan, that's just driving me crazy because, man, defensively, like, and the Warriors were just missing open shots. Like, it was a beautiful opportunity, man. But it looks like it's not their year, man, especially with the injuries. Man.
Yeah, especially with Ja. Ja's not coming back. That's all she wrote.
Ja's out. Desmond Bain, back injury. I'm just like, they had a shot, though. Like, I'm very, very impressed by them this
I do think, all of us talking about, like, the Warriors and Brew presuming they move on, Draymond, I think, in the next round, and then if they make it to the finals, is going to be a key factor in how the Warriors may advance. Looking at the other Western Conference matchup with the Suns and the Mavericks, that shifted and tilted on its own head. Like, nobody thought, outside of maybe really avid Maverick fans and a few guys in media who just wanted to see a long series. Yeah, Mark Cuban. Guys like that, they thought that this series was going to be evened up, but I kind of want to give a shout out because I know we did last part about how when they were down 2-0, Luka needs a second star. And I want to give a shout out to the role players. They did their job in the 2 home games. They did what they were supposed to do. Dorian Finney-Smith couldn't miss. Spencer did what he did a little bit. Dwight
low-key, I feel Spencer Dinwiddie, mate, is the only guy that hasn't stepped up yet. All the other role players had that breakout.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe not as
civil. I feel like dude, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started about Bertans. I needed him. I think he hit 4 threes. Yeah, I think if he would have hit that heat check, I was going to hit the group and be like, Bertans, ladies and gentlemen. But he didn't, and I just left it. I didn't go to the group chat. But Spencer, I think what I've noticed, because I watched the full game.
He's shooting 30% in this.
Who, Bertans?
No, Spencer Dinwiddie.
Oh yeah,
I think
8 points. Like
this is my point. This is my point with Spencer. I feel like he don't know what to do, like when Luka's on the floor with that too. But I feel like he gets confused or he loses his aggressive. Like Jalen Brunson, is aggressive when Luka's on the floor and when he's not on the floor. And I don't know if that's just comfortability because Jalen, and it might be not. He's trying to prove himself because Jalen's going to get a contract.
That confidence too.
Yeah, Spencer Spencer just doesn't. He has a talent. He makes splash plays, but he doesn't. He's not always aggressive. And I think Luka, whether he's on the floor or not, I think the team. Jason Kidd's probably telling him this, but he's probably telling him, like, dude, go score, do what you do. Like, don't be back because Luka's on the floor. Try to be aggressive when he's not on the floor. Like, just always go because you need. Because Dorian Finney-Smith, when he gets the ball, he's shooting. He don't care if Luka's on the floor or not.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
If it goes in, it goes in because he knows that. And one thing I was looking at too, if they would have Tim Hardaway Jr., they might beat the Suns in 6. They might have beat them in 6 if they had Tim Hardaway. Because Tim Hardaway might win them a game on the road. Especially with Luka that had that 45-point game in game 1. He might win that game if Tim Hardaway gives them 25.
I don't think Brunson would be where he's at if Tim Hardaway was playing.
True.
Though. So
that is true.
It's different. And Luka's not been efficient, even in the 2 games that they've
won. Not at all. He's like 1 for 10? 1
for 10 from 3. Yeah. And that's when Finney-Smith stepped up. Brunson, Kleber's hit big shots. I think he went 6 for 9 one game. It's really been all hands on deck for that Mavs team.
Yeah,
very similar
what they
to
did, man. They stepped up the defense, man.
Exactly.
Their physicality on the defensive end is really disrupting what Chris Paul was doing,
some
man.
Interesting fouls, some interesting foul calls. I mean,
that last Chris Paul foul was, oh boy.
I don't know, man. Dude, Chris Paul had like 7 turnovers, man.
He did have a bad game.
That's atrocious. He had more turnovers than points.
For being one of the most efficient guards in the league.
Yeah, he's never had more turnovers. He had 7 turnovers in 1 half, man. He was atrocious, man. He had 5 points. Like, that just can't happen. Like, that just can't happen. Like, I don't know.
Reggie Bullock
he went from point guard to like, I don't know what the hell happened to him, man. Don't know what the hell happened to him.
I think it was his birthday. People were saying it was his birthday, so maybe he's distracted.
He went out clubbing or something, man, because he looked.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Cow, man.
Went out with the State Farm.
That's no.
Yeah, he didn't have his best game at all. And Book had quietly a really good game.
Yeah, he had 35 the last game.
Mm-hmm.
35 piece.
Man. Only person that could get anything going though. Cam Johnson's been rough off the bench too. That's
who's been atrocious?
Campaign, I don't like
Campaign.
Yeah,
Campaign looking like the Bulls version of Campaign right now. Missing layups, missing floaters, missing threes. Like, he has been atrocious.
Send him back to China, Zoo, right?
Dude, I swear to God, he need a wake-up call.
That lit a fire under him last time.
Dude, he has been atrocious. Like,
they need to address that.
I don't know what happened. Last year, Campaign was actually a solid backup. This year, looking like he doesn't even belong in the NBA roster right now because he has been having some bad games. But, man, the Dallas Mavericks, though, man, dude, this 3-point shooting, they're living and dying by the 3 right now.
Yeah.
They're like shooting, dude, hitting 20 threes, 45% from 3. That is just not sustainable.
No,
it is not sustainable. Like Finney Smith, 8 for 12 from 3. I'm just like, my Lord, that ain't ever happening again, man. That's some Ray Allen shit, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, they just went off that game. So I'm like, this sustainability of 3-point shooting, what they're relying on right now, man. Dude, I feel like the Suns, man, they got this, man. If they execute, if Chris Paul progresses back from scoring 5 points, like, they should get it done because I think they're objectively the better team. The role players at home, man, they just shot their lights out right now, man. So I feel like Phoenix Suns, if they execute, man, they should get it done, man. 6 games, man. 6 games.
Selfishly, I want Luka.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think selfishly, if Luke, like, just as a fan watching, even though Luke can be very inefficient sometimes, just watching how he slices and dices in the lane, he's crazy.
His post game is nasty, man. When he gets in the paint, got a little like spin move, get a little teardrop, like his touch around the rim. Like, he's not that great of a shooter. Like his like in the paint game is straight up money, man. I don't know how he just gets those shots off. But my God, his post up game is.
He's a big dude.
Yeah,
plus, I'm subscribing. Plus, I want to subscribe to the theory I heard from Nick Wright that if Luka gets past this round, this could be his LeBron run to the finals. I really want that to happen because I don't want to see Golden State in the finals. I just don't, and I would love to see them get upset by Luka because then it's like the whole narrative around Luka couldn't get out the first round. Like, okay, well,
he's only a year, man. He's a baby.
I feel like that would be a great storyline in the West because then, you know, if Luka gets supercharged to get to the finals, and I would probably be picking them because you don't want to see that type of monster. But, you know, in the Western Conference, there's going to be a lot of, you know, I guess you could say unraveling storylines if certain teams win. So transitioning into the East, right now we have a game on right now with the Philadelphia 76ers, who, in all intents and purposes, was dead when it was 2-0. Joel Embiid came back, stabilized them. James Harden had a vintage game in Game 4.
Oh, damn time.
Now we're looking at it right now. The score is 42-31 Miami. And Joel Embiid just got hit in the face, and it doesn't look good. So hopefully he's able to stay in the game. But interested to see what the guy thinks about this series. Do they see it going 6 or 7? Zoo, what do you think?
Dude. Joel Embiid, man. Dude, he's making the MVP candidacy right now in the playoffs. Oh my Lord, that team without him was atrocious. Defensively, my Lord, defensive presence. The minute Joel came back, Bam Adebayo completely irrelevant. Just completely irrelevant, man. Like, the dude was balling out. Joel Embiid comes back, boom, over. And then the 3-point shooting. It's not a coincidence. The minute he comes back, they start hitting threes. Danny Green finally looking like San Antonio Spurs Danny Green, not Lakers Danny Green, man. Like he starts hitting threes now because Joel Embiid on offense, even with the broken face, even with the torn ligament in the finger, this dude's been an absolute monster, man. What a freaking warrior, man. Like he legit broke his face and his finger, man. This dude's straight up balling. Still the best player in the series, man. So what Joel Embiid have done, mad impressive, man. Reviving them from the dead. Because my God, dude, Miami Heat, man, their offense is doo-doo. Like, I don't know what happened. They can't hit any threes right now. You have Duncan Robinson, $90 million on the bench, not even playing, and they can't hit threes. I'm just like, put him in. Like Eric Spoelstra supposed to be a great coach. I don't know. I'm questioning
Duncan
that
Robinson
a little,
can't play D. That's why.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. If you got 4 guys to play D, you can't have one liability.
For him not to even get off the bench. Yeah. Like,
dude, I'm just like, they need offense right now. Offensively, it's Jimmy Butler and bust right now. Like, Jimmy has been balling.
You want to talk about Dillon Brooks affecting the Grizzlies? Tyler Hero is kind of single-handedly bringing down the Heat. And it's not like he's a great defender when he's on the floor, but you need him for scoring behind Jimmy Butler, especially with Lowry getting re-injured again.
Jesus Christ. This team, he was awful. He got to stay injured, man. Like, when he came back.
Yeah. And then Max Strus, I mean, he just couldn't hit a shot to save his life. I mean, they've shot, I think the past 2 games, they were under 25% from three as a team. You cannot have that happen, especially with a team that is that reliant on the three-point shot, man. Bam Adebayo, I think, has been the biggest X factor in games 3 and 4. He hasn't even gotten, I think, over 8 rebounds, 7 rebounds, something like that. And Embiid's just dominating him even when he was playing limited minutes in game 3. Just absolutely ridiculous that even Harden had more confidence than we've seen him have probably the entire season when Embiid came back in game 4. So Maxi's doing his thing, Zoo. Tobias
20
Harris
points, baby. He's a bucket, man. He's a bucket.
He is. Yeah. But I do think that Danny Green game 3 performance was huge. That was big for them. This was a momentum carrier. But if the Heat hit threes, man, I still think this series goes to Miami.
And I think the problem with the Heat is the guys like the Strus and like Gabe Vincent, they're going to play better at home. So I don't think you can expect them to be on the road. It was really impressive that Jimmy Butler gave him 40. You just kind of thought with him doing that, they were going to win that game, but Harden was able to do enough to get them to the series tied. But the only thing I'm kind of confused by is to Zoo's point about the Duncan Robinson. Like, you think Eric Spoelstra would maybe make an adjustment and be like, okay, we just need somebody who can get it close to the rim, and he just hasn't been able to do that. Coaches can get stubborn, and this is why I like Ty Lue. Like, Ty Lue doesn't, I don't think, subscribe to any of that stuff. He just plays guys in terms of matchups and whoever's good and whatever. Like, he's not the guy like some of the, like Taylor Jenkins, for instance. Like, you know, they had Dillon Brooks out there stinking up the joint. Well, I know he's a guy that's a tough warrior and he's been there a while. Like, but put in somebody else that could maybe make a difference.
He played every clutch minute. Like, in the clutch, he played every minute. I was like, oh my Lord, this guy's been
even insane. Clay. I'm surprised Steve Kerr hasn't thought about switching Poole with Clay in the starting lineup. I think a little bit at least.
Yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes coaches just get weird with their adjustments. They just stick to what they want to know. I know people say you condense the rotation in the playoffs, but to me, if something's not working, try something else. Yeah. So with that, I think if Miami, and right now it's 48-36, if they win this game, I think they're probably going to take the series in 6. I just don't see Harden coming with another, game 4 performance. He's got to prove it to me. If he does it, then they'll go 7. If he can't give me another game 4 performance in game 6, and like you said, they could win this game. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, if they lose, I don't know if Harden can give me another one of those games. If he does, then that's great. But I'm with the Heat. Jimmy Butler is one of those weird. He's in a weird, like, he's in between. Like, nobody thinks of him as like a superstar, and not a lot of people call him a star, but he has these bursts where it's like, wow, Jimmy Butler is like a really good player. Yeah,
top 10 player in the league level. Yeah,
it's like, why is Jimmy Butler like in the top 5 or top 10? He does it in the playoffs all the time, but then it's like he's not consistently doing it. So that's why we don't have those conversations. But Jimmy Butler is he's just a gamer. He shows up, and if you're going to tell me who do I have more trust in, I just have more trust in the Heat, even though I don't like their rotations. And we're talking about Max Strus and Gabe Vincent. Like, it's crazy.
Like, Oladipo hasn't been playing well.
He's legit. He has a good game, or he's atrocious. Like,
it's one or the other. I just think they don't have enough players that can just carry their momentum because they switch in people in and out so much that it's like, okay, well, Jimmy Butler's going to play 40 minutes for you. He will get a consistent flow going on offense. Tyler Hero, I don't know, consider starting him. Like you said, Sean, there's so many adjustments Spoelstra could play with, but I think it's really dependent on how tonight goes.
I think Tyler Hero remember after his rookie year, he had like everybody thought he was going to be like Devin Booker light, and he just never became that.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason. Like if he would have became Devin Booker light, I think Miami would be more scary because that would be your consistent guy giving you anywhere from between 18 to 22 points a game. And with Tyler Herro, you can't depend on him to do that. And that's why I think he had his position to be, he's kind of like a six man. So who knows? Like you say, depending on how this game shapes out and Miami just keeps extending the lead, it's all gonna fall on James Harden in Game 6 to give them a legendary performance. Because as much as we like Maxey and Tobias and Joel, like Joel is gutting it out as a Warrior, but you can't depend on him to give you like I saw somebody say he needs to give him like 40 and 20. Like, come on, bro, his face is broken and he has a torn ligament in his hand. Like him being out there is just good enough. So
it's affecting his jump shot. You can tell.
Yeah,
by far, he's been bricking a lot of threes.
Yeah, but going into the last topic, or I guess you could say last subject with basketball, Boston and Milwaukee.
Oh,
this is to me. This is definitely going 7, bro. Like it just it's like a 7-round match. It like watching that game, the Sunday game, not so much yesterday, but watching the Sunday game and just seeing how physical each team was. Tatum didn't play his best. Giannis put up a 40 piece. It just feels like this whole matchup feels more even with Middleton being out. Like, I think if Middleton were playing, this might be a 5 or 6 game series with Milwaukee winning. I think he's that big of a deal.
Really?
Depends where he is on the cycle.
Really?
I think people forget, like, and one of the guys on the broadcast brought it up, like, Middleton is very underrated as a defender. And if you give me another 6'7" wing that could bother Tatum and Brown, like, that's what Milwaukee doesn't have. And, Giannis, if you ever notice, look, Giannis, if you don't notice.
What? They don't have good wing defenders without Middleton. Wes Matthews,
6'7" plus 6'4" guys ain't gonna get it done against Tatum.
No, Wes Matthews has been unbelievable guarding Jason Tatum.
He has been actually.
Wes Matthews has been D'ing off like no airspace, man. He's
been okay.
Done a terrific job, man.
He's been fine, but
he's been amazing. He's been all NBA caliber.
When you have to rotate Allen or Connaughton in, though, I think that's
that's a downgrade. But Wes Matthews, he's with the Bulls like guarding like DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and now Tatum Brown. He's been phenomenal defensively.
He's been fine with Tatum, even though Tatum went for 30 yesterday. But consistently trying to get them to guard. I think Middleton, he's another guy to say, like you say, Wes Matthews could probably be even more valuable if Middleton was in there with his scoring and his defensive prowess. I think Milwaukee, where they struggle at, is Giannis too. When Middleton's on the floor, and this is taking nothing away from Drew Holiday. Like, he's a great player, great defensive guy.
Offensively, he's struggling.
He can't get to the level that Middleton can get to offensively. And I think when Giannis is out there, or when Giannis and Middleton is out there, like when Giannis goes to the bench, Middleton can carry those stretches where they can't get buckets. And I just feel like now that Middleton's not there, and he ain't coming back, I don't think. Like, this series is very even because now it's like, it really depends on, and some might argue, if Tatum doesn't go like 4 for 19 in that game 5, or was it game 4, Boston might have won that game. So it just, to me, it seems very even. This game 5 is going to be really key for Milwaukee because I think if they lose that, I think Boston has more of the ability to win that game 6. But I think if, Giannis goes nuclear, then it's whatever. For me, I'm just sticking with Giannis because he's just the best player. And until he gets knocked out. I love Boston. I really like them a lot. But Giannis has showed points in this series where if he gets going, you ain't done with him. Even though he's knocked down his free throws.
I'm telling you, but he has a kryptonite, though, man. His name Rob Williams, man. The minute Rob Williams doesn't play, he drops a 34-point game.
Rob Williams is a versatile
defender. His defensive impact, it's actually so mind-boggling. Yeah. Like, how impressive. I keep saying, this guy looks more valuable than Marcus Smart on defense, man. Because, his ability to make Giannis...
Against the Bucks.
I think against anyone. As a rim protector, as a guy who can switch on pick and rolls, guarding guards, wing guys, his defensive versatility is absolutely impressive. Because, Giannis...
Al Horford, too.
Yeah.
He's another
guy Al Horford. I remember this guy was the Joel Embiid stopper. And now every time he guards Giannis, he has him way lower on his field goal percentage. Al Horford in the playoffs, this dude's like a two-way beast, man. This dude's dropping threes, playing defense, getting blocks.
Dunking
oh my God, Al Horford, man, that was a hell of a trade that they made. They shipped out Kemba Walker, who's his legs were done. Liability. Traded a first round pick away. Getting Al Horford in. This guy's been like an all-star right now. He's been playing like an all-star. Like that. I always hate saying that because I'm like Al Horford max contract. I always laugh that off. But in the playoffs right now, this dude's been absolute money from three. Yeah. Absolute money from three, and has been a two-way guy. Like, dude, like
Jalen hasn't had a great series. Let's be honest.
Jalen Brown,
he had one decent game.
Yeah, he's been up
Sunday.
Up and down. But Al Horford's been the most consistent guy.
Yeah.
Tatum had great games and awful games. Like great game, awful game. But Al Horford, my lord, man, very impressive, man. Very impressive, man.
And the 5 for 7 from 3 is easily the biggest thing because if he's raining from that
and he's gonna get those shots
that he likes, that corner 3 and top of the key,
man. Brook Lopez ain't going out, man. They do that drop coverage.
Too slow.
He's gonna get those looks, man, and he's been nailing them. Like Al Horford, man, this guy's been amazing.
That's the only thing about Boston I hate. Like, I know their shots are there, but they shoot a lot of freaking. Like Game 4, they win that Game 4 if they don't shoot as many threes. They shoot too many, and with two wing guys who are not just set shooters who can get to. I know Giannis is back there, but I'm not scared of Brook
Lopez, man. They got these freaking towers down there, man. That's why they don't want to go in the paint.
I would just rather I don't know. I just
Brook Lopez is a freaking tank, man. He's like a wall. Like when he puts his arms up, he goes straight up, man. He's really improved as a defender from when he came in as a rookie, becoming a defensive stopper now at the rim. So I'm just like, there's a reason why they're shooting that many threes. This is the Milwaukee game plan. I saw what they exposed my Bulls by doing that, and now they're doing the same game plan against the Boston Celtics. Which, my God, but if Al Horford keeps cashing those threes, man, he can save him this series.
That's probably going to be the biggest X factor. If he had a really good Game 4, if he continues to have I think they said it was a career high for him in the playoffs in that last game. If he continues to do that, then Boston will win. But like you say, I think with Milwaukee, them thinking, well, if Al Horford's going to continue to do that, then you guys deserve to win the series. So if they lose the series and it's like because Al Horford kept doing that, then it's like you just got to tip your cap. I think they would rather say, okay, well, if Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown with nuclear, and plus two Boston fans would also say if we can get a game where Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum just goes absolutely absurd, like berserk. Which, if I was him, I would probably, if it went 7, I would want to save that for the 7th game at home. That could happen, but I'm just, I'll be as farther along as since last year's playoffs into this year. Giannis is just a star that he just feels like you got to knock him out. Even though he has a lot of deficiencies, Giannis is a superstar. And it's like I was one of his main doubters last year. Like, he can't shoot free throws. You build a wall, but it's like, it meant something beating Kevin Durant. Like, it meant something coming down from 2-0 against the Phoenix Suns. Like, that did happen. So it's like, I kind of want to bank with him. And with Boston, I know they have the 2 supernovas, but I've also seen them not get it done. Even though this year is a whole lot different because defensively, they're a way different team than what they have been in the past. I will say.
Yeah, what's going on for me? Yeah, but I feel like Giannis, though, he's going to run out of energy, man. I don't know if you guys saw him in the fourth quarter when he fell down. Like, he was breathing hard. Like, Marcus Smart trying to help him up. Giannis get the hell out of here, man. I want to take a breather right now.
Effect.
Yeah, exactly. The coach had to take Giannis out for like a 1-minute stretch because he just needed to catch his breath and put him back in like a minute later because he was just dying out there. Because scoring wise, Drew Holiday, all NBA defensive guy, offensively just bricking everything. He's trying little step back threes and mid range. He's just not a great offensive player. So Giannis carrying the load right now. I feel like it's just gonna be too much for him. Without Chris Middleton, giving him possessions off his little ISO game, mid range game. I think that's the key right there. This, you say 7-game series. Chris Middleton is that 1-game difference. That's what I'm seeing right now. That the Boston Celtics are better than the Bucks without Middleton. If they had Middleton, I would say I would take the Bucks, but without Middleton, man, Giannis got too much as a load, man. Too much to carry.
Yeah, I think the Celtics have this series to lose, honestly, and I think that's the difference. The Bucks are you call them shorthanded. Yes, they have the home court advantage, but you look at the Celtics, man, and they're playing with a little bit of house money right now with how well they're riding this Al Horford wave. Dude, and I think we can all agree that they're gladly hallelujahing in Boston for Al Horford. Because I think, and the reason I say it's their series to lose is if they continue to jack up too many 3-pointers and just kind of come complacent with 10 seconds in the shot clock, jacking up a 3. Feed Horford in the post. He's clearly now posing enough of a threat to the Bucks that they're going to have to respect it. And that's going to open up shots for Marcus Smart, right? Who did actually have a nice last game in Game 4. guys like Pritchard, right? Grant Williams, etc.
Derek White.
Grant Williams, dude, that dude's defense is amazing, man.
He's great. I mean, he's
actually a decent 3-point shooter. Now he hits open threes.
He's like PJ Tucker, but with a better driving game. Like he can drive and get to you never see PJ Tucker like dunking and stuff. Like, but Grant Williams can shoot in the corners. He can
same body type, man.
Pass.
Yeah, they're both on the chunkier side, man. Super strong, like 3-point shooters
Luka
now.
build.
Like, he's been balling. But
this is a toss-up series for me. But I do think it's the Celtics to lose because they're going to be the team to make mistakes. The Bucks are just kind of winning based on whenever the Celtics are making mistakes. So if they continue doing so, I think that's the only way that the Bucks can blow this series. So we'll see, man.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I say, I'm just thankful that we've gotten the series to 2-2 now. So like potentially we could see a couple of game sevens if things fall. Yeah, that would be great.
High leverage moments, so man. Yeah. Those are the best. Be great.
Like I said, I think out of all the game sevens, I would definitely want to see the Boston-Milwaukee game 7 because I think that's going to be a rock fight. It's just
someone's going to get
defensive
ejected.
Teams. Like, it's going to be going crazy. And I think that one will be in Boston. So, I think I would want to see that the most out of all of them.
I don't know, man. Luka in a game 7, man. Dude, not going to lie. I am rooting for Dallas hard right now, man. Hard right now because the Suns – they're by far the superior team, but if Luka pulls this off with this supporting cast they have no all-stars on their team.
Suns for the win. I'm calling it.
Super hot take right now. If the Mavs pull off this series, do they make it to the finals?
Because I am not sold on Golden. Yeah, I'm not sold on Golden State right now because Klay Thompson is not Klay Thompson right now.
Yeah,
like he's just not him right now.
And I don't think
Steph Curry's the only all-star right now. Jordan Poole's still up and coming. Like Draymond Green, nice role. He's a superstar role player. Like they got one true all-star on Golden State in Steph Curry.
So the best player in that series would be Luka.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless Kuminga's continuing to drop 18 a game. If Kuminga and Wiggins are combining for over 30 for them, I think that's actually a huge sign for how to kind of offset Klay. Because that was a big thing in Game 3 of why they blew him out, was all their starters were doing well, except obviously efficiency-wise for Klay. But look, man, it's wide open. I think all these series are wide open except the Warriors
wide open
right now.
Yeah, super wide open. I can't wait. Like I said, it would be nice if we just got game 7s in all of them. We probably won't get that, but if we get at least 1 or 2, I'll be satisfied.
On the first round, man. A bunch of game 6s ended just like that, man. No game 7s in the first round.
Yeah. So make sure you guys tune in to the Bullheaded Podcast. We'll be covering the NBA since it's full board. Like I said, some baseball stuff will be on there. That will be mainly on the stories, Instagram stories. Sometimes I put some polls on Twitter, things of that nature. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, bullheaded_pod. Same thing on Twitter. Follow all the DSPs, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. And for me, Zoo, and P. Bush, we're out.